Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
The mess over Metro Detroit's State House and State Senate maps takes a new turn on the eve of a federal court deciding who should be in charge of redrawing 13 seats. Those seats have been ruled unconstitutional, but tonight the commission, which bungled the maps, is now appealing to the United States Supreme Court. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. Mara McDonald live downtown at this hour. Mara, the commission tried to appeal a week ago, but couldn't muster the votes for that.
Devin, and here we are a week later, and we've got three new members of that commission, and they took what I consider a surprise vote this evening, and sure enough, they're going to appeal to the United States Supreme Court. Let me show you. The maps don't pass constitutional muster. That was the ruling from a federal court panel that found Michigan's Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission used race in making these maps and diluted the black vote in 13 state House and Senate seats.
The motion is to appeal the decision of the three-judge panel.
By a vote of 8-1 tonight, the commission is fighting the federal ruling and asking the Supreme Court of the United States to intervene.
This is about making sure that Detroit is not stuck with representation that spans all the way to Macomb, across 8 Mile, for the next 10 years.
Gay Dagnogo is part of a group of Detroit Democrats who sued over these maps and won. They have so little confidence in the abilities of the commission, they're hopeful the federal court will appoint a special master to oversee the redrawing of these maps tomorrow.
I'm prayerfully hoping that the three judges tomorrow, the panel of 3 judges, will decide in our favor for a special master, because this group is not ready for prime time.
You'll remember voters approved the plan to have a Citizens Independent Redistricting Commission rather than the legislature draw Michigan's political maps. The reasoning? Well, the thought was the legislature was too political and they drew unfair maps. However, when it comes to these 13 seats, the newly formed commission drew something worse than the legislature ever did, according to the court. Back here live, important to point out in that federal court opinion, they say that the commission got really bad advice from the experts that they hired here. And Devin, Kimberly, the U.S. Supreme Court is under no obligation to hear this appeal. We're live downtown tonight. Back to you.
So that's one possible outcome. What are the others that we could see in federal court tomorrow?
Well, I mean, the permutations, Devin, at this point are pretty endless. I mean, could those judges appoint a special master tomorrow? It's possible. Could they stay the whole thing, slow the whole roll down because of this maneuver by the commission? Also possible, maybe not probable. And then we have the whole idea of a deadline. The consortium of Dems who want this done, they wanted it done by April. Are they going to slow the roll? I guess we're going to find out in the morning.
There's a ton riding on it. What's more sacrosanct than the right to vote? Exactly right. All right, Mara. A 6th grade student is dead after the gunman opened fire on a high school in Perry, Iowa.
4 students and a school administrator were also wounded this morning at Perry High School. Investigators say the 17-year-old suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They say he was armed with a shotgun and a handgun. Officers found an improvised explosive device while searching the school today. Today, the school was scheduled to be the first day of the new semester. Classes for tomorrow are canceled.
Closer to home, a Westland mother is facing murder charges after her newborn child is found dead. Police say the baby died at home in early December. Shortly after, 31-year-old Tricia Lempia gave birth. Investigators say no one ever called for medical attention. Lempia was arraigned today on several felony charges, including homicide and child abuse. She's due back in court January 11th.
We're getting an update on 2 of the victims in that house explosion in Northfield Township. Richard Pruden and Stephen Bragg are in stable condition. The explosion happened over the weekend at a home on Winters Lane in Northfield Township. Police say it killed a mother, father, and their 2 children while they were visiting family for the holidays. A public vigil is being held on Saturday afternoon at the Whitmore Lake High School.
We now know the winners of the North American Car, Truck, and Utility Vehicles of the Year. The announcement occurred at the M1 Concourse in Pontiac earlier today. The Toyota Prius, Ford Super Duty, and the Kia EV9 took home the top awards at the annual awards show. The winners were determined by a vote of 50 NACTOY jurors, which cast their ballots in December. Now, this year's nominees for both car and utility vehicle awards were made up primarily of Japanese and Korean automakers. Ford and General Motors dominated in the truck category.
After days of muddy hills and warmer temperatures, Mount Brighton is ready to be back in business. The ski lodge plans to reopen tomorrow with a fresh layer of powder on its hills. Workers have been on site around the clock getting the mountain ready. You can hit the slopes as early as 3 p.m. tomorrow.
4 days away now from the Wolverines taking on Washington in the national championship game. One Michigan fan had the thrill of a lifetime. This shot from the Rose Bowl is unbelievable, snapping a photo that's now been seen all over the world.
Jacqueline Francis talked with a Michigan-based photographer about the picture he took from 4,000 feet above. She joins us live tonight with what he's calling it. Jacqueline.
So he's named it For All the Roses, which is a very fitting name. Tyler Liprant took this photo from a helicopter, and in it you can see the stealth bomber flying over the packed stadium for the Rose Bowl.
I think 3 years ago I saw a shot from the Rose Bowl with the stealth bomber and knew that someday, like if Michigan ever made the Rose Bowl, I'm dropping whatever I'm doing, I'm going, and I'm going to do whatever I can to get that shot.
Tyler Liprant lives in Traverse City, but traveled all the way to Pasadena to cheer on his team and take the photo of a lifetime.
Of course, for a big game like that, there's a TFR, which is a temporary flight restriction. And so 5 miles horizontally, you can't fly any aircraft. 3,000 feet vertically, you got to stay out of that bubble. And as long as you're above the 3,000 feet, it's legal, but you still got to talk to air traffic control.
Approval from air traffic control didn't come until the morning of the game.
The whole trip for me was a gamble, and that was like a gamble that I was willing to take to get the top of my bucket list shot.
Hovering 4,000 feet in the air, the pressure was on.
Ever since I booked the trip and had that month of planning, I was nervous then because I'm spending a lot of money to get out there. I travel quite a bit, so I'm leaving my family again. And just all for a split second, trying to capture that shot.
And he did.
You're looking down, I could not see it because it's coming down from the mountaintop. And finally at the last second, I picked up on it and just started snapping photos. And so then I looked at it and knew I got it. And that's when I started celebrating in the back and fist bumping my brother.
Once on the ground, Tyler and his brother did actually go to the game. That's when Tyler posted the photo to social media. He says within 20 minutes, ESPN picked it up, and from there, it just skyrocketed, as you can imagine. The photo is available for purchase. We have a link on our website, clickondetroit.com. Reporting live in Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Jacqueline, so happy you mentioned he was indeed able to go into the game. It was tough thinking that he went all the way out there and didn't get to experience the game, but he did.
I want to see the game. I just need to take a picture first.
That's a fantastic story. Thank you, Jacqueline. We appreciate it. And here's a quick heads up. Our Bernie Smilovitz and Hobie Artigue will be there to bring you all the action live from Houston Monday night at 6:30 p.m. only on Local 4. A 30-minute chase for the championship special with player interviews and some super fan stories you won't want to miss. That's Monday at 6:30 p.m. right here on Local 4.
All right, back here, we actually had a sunny day, which we just have not talked about in weeks and weeks, and there's a beautiful shot tonight of the riverfront.
Yeah, I love it that you said you were scrambling to find your sunglasses today because it's been so long.
I wasn't sure where they were when I left the house.
Let's get over to Kim Adams.
Well, it is a very cold night here in Metro Detroit as we take a live look at the big house. Really exciting to be in Ann Arbor. 14 degrees, though. It is cold there. 21 in Detroit, 23 in Lapeer, 22 in Monroe. If you're lucky enough to be going to the game, before you go in, if you want to do a little tailgating, there is a chance for storms. But by 8 o'clock, 63 degrees. And then 11 o'clock, a few lingering showers with temps in the upper 50s. Now, tomorrow around here starts out very cold, 20, but that's out at the airport where they keep the records. Suburbs will be well down into the teens. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a few wind chills in the single digits. So very cold tomorrow morning, the coldest morning we've had in several weeks. And then the afternoon, we warm up if you can call it warm, to a high of 35. All right, the weather story, lots to talk about in the forecast tonight. Light snow accumulation for this weekend. That's round one. Round two comes in Tuesday into Wednesday with a little rain and some snow, and then also wind. So our first big winter event of the season is next week, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes.